or at least a quality mil spec, because that's what it is, a mil spec AR, with like a nickel boron trigger. So it had a smoother trigger, still heavy. It's like a 6 pound trigger, if not more, but it's a clean, just clean break, no grit, no grime. Um, Done.
I got a switch in my head. I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red. Now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said. I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget. So now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear.
What's up, everybody? It's time for Locked, Cocked, and Unfiltered. This is going to be episode 6. I'm here with my co-host Clayton Slotlicker and Tony Simone.
Tony Simone. I'm totally fucking.
Tony Simone. And we're going to be talking about NRA. Tony and I were at NRA show, and then Clayton was at the Reeds event it was in Minnesota, right? Yeah, so we're going to kind of just talk about that and everything. Honestly, that was my first time for NRA show. Oh my God, Tony, do you have a cowboy hat on?
Yeah, you do.
You need to leave that on, man.
This is
I've never seen a black Indiana Jones.
It's Diversity Jones. Thank you very much. It's Diversity Jones.
Where's your whip?
Oh,
you know where my whip is.
Oh shit.
Okay.
So yeah, this was my first NRA show. With how many NRA shows have you been to, Tony?
4.
More than you can.
No, because I didn't go to the last few. We had the COVID break. Then we had some out in Texas. I think we had Dallas and Houston. I didn't go to those. So I missed a couple. I think 2019 was the last one I went to. I think it was in Indianapolis, or maybe it was Louisville. I don't remember which. But no, I haven't been to that many. It was fun being down there. I've gone to Atlanta. Yeah, I did Atlanta, Indianapolis. What the heck? And I just left the name out, and I just said it before. Oh, Indianapolis, Atlanta, and Louisville.
So was this kind of a bigger setup than the others?
It was in the same place. It was in the same place as the first Atlanta. So it was really nice. It's huge. It gives you a lot of room. There's a lot to see in Atlanta. I like this one more because Indianapolis is just set up to be a convention town. So if you're not in Indianapolis itself, there's not much to do. But Atlanta, there's stuff all over the place to do and go. Even though I didn't see any of it this time, the first time I went, I think I took 3 days on the front end to vacation with my wife while I was there because I knew I was going to be spending so much time at the show and doing show related stuff. And then like an extra day on the back end. So you had stuff to do. I mean, that's one way to roll to it, especially if you're from far away and you don't get to go to Atlanta. Enjoy the whole trip. Give yourself a couple days on the front. Hit there, Wednesday, Thursday, do some stuff in the town that it's in, and then, go see the show Thursday, Friday. What is it? Excuse me. And go see stuff Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I did with SHOT Show. Is the last day I kind of used it as more of I did my tourist stuff, went around and seen the sights and all that good stuff. And I mean, for me, I'm right up the road from Atlanta, but I will say it is nice where they had it, because if you're wanting to do stuff, you've got Centennial Park right there. You've got the aquarium. You got World of Coke. I mean, everything is all right there around, the event and everything. So yeah, if you're looking at doing the tourist stuff, I mean, you're definitely in the right spot. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really nice setup. Parking wasn't, my only problem was figuring out where to go and park, because I think I did like 12 U-turns trying to figure out where to park at and stuff. But now once I figured it out, I mean, parking was easy, especially for my truck. Some of those parking garages in Atlanta get pretty tight. So I had plenty of room to maneuver around and stuff. And I mean, it was easy to find where I had to go, once you parked and everything. So the only thing I will say NRA was everything that I fully expected. Um, I hate to say it, it was a little bit more to me of the older crowd there, especially Saturday. But now what was funny for me is I actually bumped into some of my students that were there at the show. So that was pretty cool. And just being able to see everybody. But I mean, the vendors were good. I mean, I got interviews with Mantis. I got interviews with Jeff with Excess. I went over and talked to Mossberg about that new 990. And I stopped and talked to Tecto knives, and it's one of the more recent knives that I bought, and I've been really impressed with it. And when I saw they were there, I went over and wanted to talk to them. I regret not doing I should have done a video with them, but that was my dumbass fault because I had to freaking backpedal because I didn't have all the right equipment that I was planning on using and stuff. So I'm standing over there against the wall waiting on my damn camera to charge, looking like some bum. All I needed was a sign, hold it up saying we'll work for food.
Yeah, that don't work for me. Nobody hires me. Hey, like, we'd rather pay cash. You got Venmo? You got Cash App? I'm not paying for your food, bro.
I know you were there mainly with the media side of it for your podcast. How many
Yeah.
interviews did you get in?
Um, Hours and hours of interviews. I know I got 8 the first day. I think I did the same thing the next. I think I might have gotten 24, 25 interviews in 3 days. So I did not see much of the show at all. Um, I mean, there was a couple of things that debuted there, and I was lucky enough that my friends from High Point said, "Hey, we'll debut the High Point 15 on your podcast and on your Instagram," and I thought that was cool. 9 o'clock Friday morning when the show opened up, boom! I announced High Point has an AR-15. So I was the first person to do that live, and that was pretty cool. And then we did an hour and a half on the show, not only talking about High Point, the AR-15 they have, and how it's built and all the specs, but where they think it is in the on the hierarchy of gun buying, and why would you get a High Point AR instead of somebody else's and that kind of thing. And then we just talk gun stuff.
I know why I want a High Point AR, because I want to wrap in $100 bills.
High Point, number 2 reason to buy a High Point is to use it as a meme gun.
Exactly.
It is great to do anything you want with a High Point. How's this? You buy a High Point AR-15. It has the High Point mark, its High Point logo, and then you just strip everything off of and build a Mark 18 with it. So
I know you had a break, and I just happened to be over there, and you walked me over and introduced me to some of the people at High Point, and I was able to stand there and talk to them about the High Point 15. So I was really impressed with it. I mean, some people are a little touchy on High Point and stuff, but I mean, I thought it felt like a good gun. It felt like a good quality gun, and some people have budgets that they have to go by. So I think it's a great option.
It was a conversation, right? High Point was like, look, people start with High Point. They buy a High Point pistol, or they buy a High Point carbine. And they were like, that's the end of their journey in the High Point. High Point needed to come up with something else that keeps their customer base. And it was like, okay, entry-level AR-15s, or at least a quality mil-spec, because that's what it is, a mil-spec AR, with like a nickel boron trigger. So it had a smoother trigger, still heavy. It's like a 6-pound trigger, if not more, but it's a clean break, no grit, no grime, done. So you can stand right there. Go ahead, bro.
What's the MSRP on that one then?
500.
I didn't realize it was a nickel boron trigger. That didn't come up in the conversation. That's pretty good right there. Nickel boron that's really good.
I mean, that's like the ACT trigger from ALG. They knock the rough edges off, coat it, and throw it in there. So you have a decent trigger. You don't have to do anything to it. Again, clean break. And they have the High Point lifetime warranty on the gun. So with Delton going out of business, they step right into the another, and truthfully, they're not manufactured in house. So they're getting from an AR company that does really good work. So they know what they're doing. They looked at all the parts. They looked at who does the best job, and they bought it. And they have those being made. Now they're gonna bring it in house if these things are a hit, and High Point will start producing their own AR-15s. So that
Nice.
should be fun.
Well, I mean, they're not the only company that, has stuff brought. I mean, Springfield has a lot of their stuff brought in. So, I mean, I really think High Point has come a long way from what it used to be. It's definitely, to me, getting better. And like I said, if it's something where you're on, it's a great gun if you're on a budget. So I would really have you haven't had a chance to shoot their AR-15 because that's when they released it, was at the show, right?
They didn't even release it at the show. They got that right before they jumped in the vehicle and drove down. They haven't
Oh
shot
shit!
it yet.
Wow.
So they know who they're dealing with, so they know this thing is spec'd out. Comes out in June. I can't wait for it. They have the High Point 10.5 inch AR pistol,
Are
both
you
in
sure it's
300 blackout.
10.5 inches?
I measured it. If you didn't see the live, dude, Dave is the High Point dude who does the press and everything. A lot of it. He's a friend of mine. We talk just like you guys and I talk, and I kind of forgot I was doing an Instagram live. I forgot I was doing an Instagram live, and he just got it, so he was still reading the spec sheet. And I said, "What's the barrel length?" And he said, "I don't know." And I grabbed it. And my hand went below the counter with the gun, and I came back up and I gave it to him. I said, 10.5 inches. He laughed. I laughed. And then somebody reminded me, hey, yeah, I saw you measured the 10.5 inches. I was like, oh, crap. Forgot. Um, but, yeah, so you have 10.5 inch 5.56, 10.5 inch 300 blackout, and a 16 inch, 5.56. I think it's using the carbine length gas system. So that way it's one gas system for, all three. So I think it's pretty cool. I look forward to getting one. I was just talking to one of the gun shops here that helps me with diversity shoot, and they're willing, if they send me a High Point AR pistol, they will make it Jersey legal by turning it into an AOW or a non-NFA item. Because yes, in New Jersey we can have AOWs, but we can't have short barrel rifles or AR pistols. Make it make sense.
Stupid. So stupid.
I can
If we
have
could, if we could, if we could make it make sense, we wouldn't even have to worry about those laws.
Yeah, so the reason it doesn't make sense is because they hate you. They just want to build obstacles up and make it so complicated that your head explodes. If you're out there and go, well, what's the difference between a non NFA item and an AOW in New Jersey? Now, this is where I'm putting it at, in New Jersey. If it's over 26 inches with a vertical grip, AR pistol, vertical grip, over 26 inches, with a SB A3 stock brace, over 26 inches, vertical foregrip, SBA3 brace, it can be a non NFA item. But if it's under 26 inches, with any type of other brace, I think it has to be a AOW. Make sense? Oh, but SBRs are dangerous, and we can't have them, and AR pistols are dangerous, and we can't have those. Because the only difference between an AOW, a non-NFA, and an AR pistol is the foregrip. One's vertical and one's like not vertical. Safe.
Stupid.
So
So
So why do
stupid.
we fight laws? Because just imagine you moved from anywhere else to this state and you had an AR pistol and you had an angle foregrip. That's illegal. But if you take off that angle foregrip and put a vert grip, which would make it illegal in your state where you came from, it's legal here.
Let's do everything backwards.
Again, you just make it difficult for good people to, and that's why I stopped saying I was a law-abiding firearms owner, and I said I'm a responsible firearms owner because the laws
Right.
don't make sense. The laws don't make sense, and they're designed to trip you up. And when you start trying to be a law-abiding gun owner, you just put yourself at risk and your family at risk because now all of a sudden you don't have the most effective tools you could use to defend yourself. Now, I
Yep.
have to stay on the right side of the law doing what I do because I host events and police continually slide into my events and try to pretend they're not cops. So I don't need a gotcha moment. I mean, come on, dude. You just showed up with the "I'm going to give you a ticket" haircut, and you're telling me you're not a cop. Um,
Right.
yeah, that was the very first event I hosted. There was a dang sergeant from the New Jersey State Police Firearms Division. I'm like, seriously.
So stupid.
So these
I heard on the street there were going to be illegal guns here. Oh me. So, Clayton, what's Reeds? I know we've talked about it before, but what?
so
What exactly is it? More of a kind of a gun show type thing or expo? How would you classify that?
I think we're going. I'd say kind of a gun show. Basically, what it is, it's they've got all these companies there. It's basically try before you buy, okay, which is kind of a cool thing that they do. So Reeds is a company that's up in northern Minnesota. It's kind of like your Cabela's, your Bass Pros, but it's their own entity. So they got a couple locations here, but they go to this Little Falls, Minnesota, is where the event's at, and it's basically try before you buy. So federal ammunition's out there, all these discounted prices on everything. Mossberg, Beretta, huge shout out to Beretta. If anybody gets us to them, once again, thank you to them for the support for the last 3 years that they've helped us with that. excuse me, event because they've been rock stars with us, letting us use their firearms for the shooting qualifications and part of their range and ammo. So huge shout out to them. But so like, these companies have discounted prices on their guns, ammo, clothing. I mean, you name it, it's there. Hunting, anything you want for hunting, dog kennels, shit like that. Uh, so it's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I said, we've been there the last 3 years doing classes with the USCCA. So we had just shy of 40 people we did class with in 2 days, Friday and Saturday. So it was a good turnout this year, probably one of the biggest ones we've had. So it was a good time. I'm grateful for the opportunity and look forward to go back again next year. So we didn't get a whole lot of time to, play with some stuff, but we did get our hands on some of the stuff. Springfield was there with, damn it, the Kuna. They had
Kuna.
the Kuna there. They had the Echelon. Their
Kuna Matata.
Kuma Matata.
I want to call. I want
This
to
is a
call
wonderful
it.
place.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of want to call. What is it actually called? Prodigy Compact or DS? Yeah, Prodigy DS. That's what it is. So I get my hands on that. Shot a couple. There's APF Armory. I shot one of their. The hell was it? The 300 Win Mag? No, not 300 Win Mag. I think it was a 300 Win Mag. I shot one of theirs. Uh, Obviously, played with the stuff at Beretta. Their APX1 tactical. That gun is. I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed by that gun. And then, of course, I played with the 1301 tactical. Which, yeah.
That's one gun from Beretta I haven't shot is that APX, and I've been curious about it. So it's interesting to hear you say that.
Ruger was there with, and I did get my hands on that. The Ruger. What the hell is it?
RXM.
RXM. Yeah. Sorry, I'm fucking dead ass tired, brain not functioning. But yeah, I did get my hands on that. I was really impressed by that. I was really so. The guns that we shot, the Kuna, the Prodigy, RXM, APX1, those are the handguns that I shot. I was very impressed with the APX1. I know there's a lot of reviewers out there that have videos, tons of videos on that gun. But that RXM was actually really nice. They did a really nice job on it. I was surprised because I'm a Glock guy. I run Glocks pretty much. That's all I carry.
And I didn't realize, Ruger had this RXM. Yeah, this is the first time I've heard about it, but sitting here looking. This is what I find funny is everybody hates on Glock, but a lot of companies are coming out with pistols that are compatible with Glock Gen 3 parts.
Yeah. So, there's the 2-liter.
Where's the hot sauce? Where's the sauce?
But no, so that RXM I'm gonna go get me one of those because they were very, very pleasant to shoot. I was very impressed by that. It was not nice. The grip in my hand, it felt Glock 19 size, obviously, but there was something with that grip. I don't know what the ergonomics of it that it felt really, really. Hold on.
No.
Don't pause. Let's go. I was on the edge of my seat. Go ahead. Hold on.
I was too. I was like, this is about to get good.
Go back into it. Now, how did it fit in your hand? How did it fit in your hand? Was it girthy? Did it have a nice grip? That is messed up. Didn't slip right out or anything, did it?
No.
It didn't feel too veiny, did it?
Was it firm but give?
Oh man!
Fucking walked right into that shit.
You kicked that fucking door open. You didn't just open it. You kicked that motherfucker open. Hell no! You blew that door off the hinges. You blew that door off the hinges and then threw in some flashbangs.
Hello. Oh man! Hold on, hold on. Before he goes on with the story, can you put on "It's Raining Men" in the background by the Weather Girls so he can finish telling us about his experience with the RMX from Ruger?
I could probably work that in there. Oh, that is too hilarious.
Please, sir, proceed.
I don't know if I want to anymore, you dickheads. Oh, god damn it. But no, it was.
Finish telling me about it.
Oh, Jesus. No, it was. I don't even want to fucking talk about this. No, it was good. Like, it wasn't as. Fuck, god damn it.
Okay,
there's nothing you're going to be able to say that's not going to go the wrong way. So let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, I would roll with
it. It wasn't as the grip wasn't as thick as it. God damn it. What?
So it's not as girthy.
So you're saying it was big, but it wasn't too big.
It was perfect. It's like Cinderella with a slipper. It just fit just perfectly. Oh, god damn it. Moving on from the grip, dickheads.
Well, the cool thing about it has the FCU, so you can change when they come out with them. You can change the frame. So if you're more of a size queen, like obviously Clayton is, you can get something with a bigger, girthier grip, more length. At a later date. What'd you say?
No. It was a really nice soft shooting gun. I really enjoyed shooting that thing. And it
really. Go ahead.
And like I said, for what you're getting, optics ready for that price point. It's a fucking good gun. I thought. Moving on to the Prodigy. Now I did shoot the Prodigy, the full size, a couple years ago. I was not a fan of that. It didn't feel right in my hands. But go ahead, Tony. I hate both of you.
I hate when it doesn't feel right in my hands. It just throws off the whole mood.
Yeah.
Boy, this
So,
went down quick.
hey, could you fit your whole hand on it like this? Was it like, or did like a lot of it
Oh
stick out from
God.
the top?
Oh
Or
my
was it like
god!
this and it
And
stuck up
I
from the
didn't,
top? And
and I don't even want to fucking finish right now because, like, fucking you dickheads.
oh, you didn't finish? That's horrible. I hate when that happens. It's swollen on the sides a little bit, so it fills your palm.
No, they're assholes. No,
Oh me, that is too funny right there.
fuck, damn it. No,
Because this one's flared out at the bottom, so your hand doesn't slip off.
yeah, but no, that was it. It as far as the cycle and how that gun operates, it wasn't as smooth as I thought it would be, but it was. I was waiting for Tony to say something that's fucking smart.
No, actually, I'm agreeing with you on how the Prodigy really feels. It's
It really wasn't as smooth shoot as I thought it was going to be, and like so, like the full size for me to and I call it what you will. I know Chris and I've talked about this. He's had to break his grip before to hit the mag release and stuff like that. I with all the guns that I run, I don't really have to break my grip to hit the mag release. So that's something that if I ever had a Prodigy full size, I would have to work through that process and train with that. But the DS model, I didn't have to break the grip. Still didn't shoot as smooth as I expected it to. I mean, let's be honest. They were trying to. That was their answer to the Staccato CS. So look what you're trying to compare there.
Well,
But
I think that's the thing is everybody's making them to compete with staccato. So I mean, people are
right,
going to compare them to staccato, and I mean that's like taking a Corvette and trying to compare it to a Ferrari.
right,
well, in my opinion, is this, bro, and we can talk about both of the RXM and this. RXM is a better gun, in my opinion. You get a better deal and more gun than if you bought a Gen 5 Glock brand new. I'm sorry, but if you're buying a Glock, then just buy it because it says Glock and tell me that. Because Ruger's a quality manufacturer making the Gen 3 Glock clone and it's giving you more features for less money. You'd be silly to get it. Flip side, Springfield Armory. Which color is it? Which one is this? The Prodigy. I'm sorry.
right. Sure.
Yeah. Well, the Prodigy full size is not. Look, it is not a staccato. It ain't in the same neighborhood as staccato. It's like saying Toyota Corolla isn't the same as like. Now I don't want to go too high with the things, but isn't the same as like Lexus, even though they're the same manufacturer, they're totally different cars. Same with staccato. Neither one of them are top of the line. A staccato is not a top of the line 2011, but it is the 2011 that you compare every other 2011 to, and staccato ain't in that friggin' neighborhood. I mean, excuse me, the Springfield is not in that neighborhood. It's just it looks similar. It looks similar, have similar features, but a staccato is significantly smoother in every way than the
Right.
Springfield.
And it looks like with this RXM, you get, I guess I'm assuming a full size and then a compact. Because I see one that's 15 plus one and one that's 10 plus one.
Well, the 10 might be Cali.
Oh, compact. Never mind. I see what the 10 is. A capacity client, capacity
Yeah.
compliant model
Um,
for all you the people that live in California.
And Jersey. Yeah, and Jersey.
Yeah,
the
and New York.
The Kuna.
Yeah, how was the Kuna? I've heard some really good things.
I want one. It was a fun little PCC to shoot. Can't remember what shit. What did you say? I mean, for that MSRP, it was different pricing at the event. So I really don't know what it's going for now. But it's a cool little gun. It'd be a cool little backpack gun, if you will. It shot really nice. It shot really, really fucking nice, actually. So, but those are the ones we got to shoot. And like I said, the APX one from Beretta Tactical. That was a fun gun to shoot. Hopefully, I get my hands on one of those here soon and might run that thing for a bit. But that event, like I said, it's really not much of a. You don't get much time to talk to the vendors and stuff that are there because it is basically kind of like a range day, and it's so fucking busy, you know.
So the Kuna without the brace MSRP is $9.99.
Yep. I was gonna say
What?
900.
With $9.99. Might as well just say $1,000.
$1,000. Yeah.
No, the reason I said what is because they dropped it down because I'm looking at their website, Springfield,
Yeah, I'm
with
on there.
the
Yeah.
brace. With the brace, it says $11.49.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hell?
That's correct.
The fuck was
Oh,
that?
did you freaking hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
must have been
crap.
at your place. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
it
it. No
is.
biggie.
I got a jackass down the road that decides he likes to get out and ride his bike 90 miles an hour up and down the road.
No
I mean, I
biggie.
don't care. You can be an organ donor, but when I'm doing shit like this, it gets on my nerves.
No, it was
black.
a good event. We have a meeting with USCCA this week to kind of hash things out, what we learned from this event, how we can make it bigger and better for next year. Just keep growing it, really, for us as a standpoint as far as the business goes. But overall, it's a good time, good people.
With the Kuna, was it fairly smooth as far as shooting? Because it's not. I was thinking it was piston driven, but it's not. Nope. It's what do they call it?
Roller delayed blowback.
Yep. There you go.
Just like the MB5, right?
Yeah, Mean Arms has theirs, and HK has theirs. A whole lot smoother recoil. If it's like those two, it's a very smooth recoil. Cool. And again, if you live in Jersey, you can get this thing, but you got to talk to your FFL about making this thing into our AOW.
Yeah, honestly,
so if you guys, which I didn't know until.
If you guys get a chance to get your hands on one, fucking definitely take it out and shoot it. So it's a good time.
Yeah, I had a BNT this weekend.
Down.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I can read you what Springfield says about the roller delayed. You know, they probably use ChatGPT.
What do you call it? Though I saw a BNT version of the same thing because they have roller delayed too. At the FFL I was at yesterday. I think I might have some video of it, and I'll post it in my social media. But this is the new thing, dude. Being able to do these off-body carry type things and have a backpack gun or whatever gun on you. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it depends on where you at.
Well, look at Tactical Life Takedown when that video first dropped of him and it wasn't even hurrying, just took his time taking out I think it was 8-10 seconds? Something like that. Look how it kicked off after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, you're all right. This is something more people are starting to look into of instead of a truck gun, but having a backpack gun.
Now, what are you going to do in case of emergency? Have more options than you?
Right? Exactly.
But it comes down to you have to also train with this stuff. If it's a backpack gun, truck gun, you have to put the reps in it. How are you going to get to it? It all comes back to training.
Sir, I have my permit. I'm ready to go.
Oh, and you would 2-time vet too?
Me and my 50-time Afghan, Iraq can, Delta Force Navy SEAL.
I was in the military. I don't even need any training. I got all the training I need, and my safety's right here.
And actually, that's next year. I want to try to get Tactical Life up at this event. I think that they would sell a lot of their platforms. The Takedown would be good. Even their entry-level AR would be great. So hopefully I can get everything worked out, get them up here for that event, because I think it'd be a good show for them.
Well, they've got their handgun now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they finally put out the whole handgun?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see the post? Yeah.
No. Because, I was talking to them at Great American Outdoor Show in February, and they were telling me how they're doing Glock barrels, Glock slides, because I want to get a crazy color. My whole thing about when we do our diversity shoots, the firearms we have online are the things my guys show up with. But if I'm going to be highlighting companies, I'd like to get a company to give me something that stands out from the regular FDE or black guns that are there. Just so when your grandmother, because we're catered to everyone, when your grandmom goes, ooh, I like that pretty one. Which one? The one with that color that every time you moved it, it would change colors. All right, that's the tactical life one. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And they can actually, because I get exit interviews with people, 30 seconds, 90 seconds. And when they mention your firearm in it, and it's not the typical, vet bro tattooed up Zen pack in, it's like, the 70-year-old lady that goes, that's my gun and that's my favorite one. You may have a sale because that was the first time she ever shot a gun. And now she's talking about it to everybody. And you just sold grandma a tactical life or fill in the blank of whatever company you're there. Because that's what we do almost bi-weekly.
Right.
Excuse me, bi-monthly.
So yeah, Tony, it's the TL19 is what their model is for their pistols.
Nice.
They look good, man. I'm really hoping they're going to have one at Train and Learn because I really want to get my hands on it.
Yeah, that's the sucky part, bro. I'm not going to Train and Learn.
That's what he was telling me, man. I'm just going to be a lost little puppy out there.
Yeah.
You guys are in trouble this year.
I know. Who am I going to go to? I guess I'm going to have to go to Cracker Barrel and be like 3 different personalities. I'll put myself in the car and start hollering and get out and start hollering back at myself in the car.
Don't forget the coffee creamer.
And then I'll run around and just find somebody's leg to dry hump since y'all won't be there. I'll let Kevin know that y'all have given me a hall pass for the weekend. So,
nice.
He won't be in any trouble.
Maybe Fridge will be there, and you can substitute one of us for Fridge. He says he's trying to make it out.
And kind of going back to the Kuna, I didn't realize that thing was fully ambidextrous.
Oh, yes, I forgot about it.
So that is really cool right there.
So, no, it was a good event, man. I'm glad you guys had fun at NRA. It was good. Looks like you had a good time. And I know Tony was.
It was, man. I mean, outside of some of the old people getting mad at me for filming and stuff. I mean, but other than that, I mean.
Oh yeah, they do get sensitive. They don't know how internet works.
Oh God, that one dude. Like all I was doing was I was coming around all the different echelons Springfield had out. And I was just walking by with the camera trying to film a little bit. And, I didn't really realize I guess I had stepped in front of him or he was walking essentially the same way I was going. But all of a sudden I heard behind me, really? I was like, yeah, really?
That is actually one gun I regret. Springfield did have the echelon out there at the Reeds. Fucking good shit. Wish I would have.
I've dry fired it. My friend Dave from High Point. That's actually his carry gun now. He had he still carries the HKVP9, but he switched over and has been running the Echelon since it came out. He's like, because he also does reviews. I don't know if people know that. Live Fire Reviews is Dave from High Point, and if you follow him on Instagram. And he's been running the heck out of it. He runs it in competition. He carries his EDC. He says it's a really nice gun. Now, I don't like the company Springfield because of the deal they tried to pull in 2016 and screw every FFL in the state of Illinois. But I'm also a reviewer and I'm also honest. And look, just because I don't like something, I'm not one of those people to tell anyone else to boycott a company. I just won't buy from them. I also won't buy from Surefire, because they donated $10,000 to Diane Feinstein when she was at peak freaking banned every gun. So they don't get my money either. But it's a good gun. The Prodigy was mess, and that's one of the reasons I tell people to beware of online reviewers, because they got review versions of it, or YouTube versions, or influencer versions of the gun that were already handpicked and chosen. And, it's a great gun. And then when the real ones came out, when you paid your hard-earned money to get the dang thing, they didn't work. So the Echelon actually did work. And truthfully, in my opinion, 2011s ain't ready for prime time unless you're dropping $2,500 on it. Everything else you're coming up with is going to be something that's almost as good if you squint your eyes a little bit. Trigger's not as good. Fit and finish is not as good. And the list goes on. And I'm like, there are a lot of double stack 9mm hammer fire guns out there that are at their peak at the $1,500 to $1,700 range. Like you were getting a really good combat proven gun when you're getting Berettas, SIGs, and CZs that are at the $1,500 to $1,700 price range. You are not getting combat proven anything with a 2011 at that price range, or any 2011 unless you're paying who's the company? Oh, STI, Staccato. They're the only ones that were adopted by the freaking Delta Force in the military in 40 cal years ago when they were STI. Nothing else is it's just not it.
And I
You're lying
know,
to yourself.
and I know of one police department that their all of their officers carry staccatos.
Yeah, there are a lot of PDs now that what happened is Staccato changed owners and they switched out their marketing team to retired law enforcement, military. And they went after this contract and they got Texas Rangers. They got a lot of other departments actually buying Staccatos. But again, Staccato was, the 2011 is actually their trademark term because that's what they did. That's their lane. Everybody else who's less money than that is a focato. It's a
Yep.
focato. They're not as good, and you get what you pay for. But again, if you drop that same amount of money, you can get a SIG. What you call it? What's the SIG called? Legion. You can get a SIG Legion P226 and have way cheaper magazines, way more holster availability, way more everything, and still have an awesome firearm. And if you want it in single action only, you could do that too.
And I
Same thing
mean,
with
that's a really good
Go ahead.
gun too. I really I
Mm-hmm.
like that Legion. That is a
Yeah.
really really good gun. On that echelon, is
CZ
it
stuff. Go ahead, bro.
I was just looking that up. I was looking,
is it t- is it kind of just like a full size Hellcat? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. I haven't been able to put my hands on it, so that's what I'm a little curious about. Is it almost just a full size Hellcat?
I don't like the way the Hellcat feels, and the Echelon just is a nicer feeling gun all the way around in my hand.
And maybe
I
the
shot the Hellcat.
maybe the Hellcat Pro could be probably maybe a little more comparable to the Echelon.
probably.
Maybe
Well,
because when I hit range day with shot,
go ahead, trying to finish
go
it.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I shot the Hellcat at range day year before last. Did not like any part of it because it's built for smaller hands. So now I've got the pinky dangling. It's thinner. Those aren't advantages for me with my size hand.
Kind of like
So
Chris.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not girthy. It's not long. It's just everything about it is
Get the pinky
unsatisfactory.
dangling.
So
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
just looking for somebody to come take it off my hands. Go ahead.
so let me ask you this: when you shot it, do you know if it had the 13 round mag in it?
More than likely, it did because of that shot.
All right, because I will say, once I bought the 15 round mags for mine, it gave me a lot better grip. I could really get my hand around it and get a nice firm grip and just squeeze it till it popped.
Okay, totally get where you coming from. Yeah,
How was the reset on that, Chris?
was it a short reset or was it a long reset?
It's a long reset.
Mm.
Sometimes I kept missing it.
So I shot the XDM and I shot the Hellcat and didn't like either one of them. But then when I got around the 1911s, I enjoyed shooting it. You know what I mean? So it's different. I don't like everything that they make, but this Echelon seems to be a move in the right direction for me. It's hitting on all cylinders. Even the way they set up the optics is cool.
You are going to be a trailer in 2 weeks. Or whatever. This will probably post after trailer, but you'll be a trailer.
Yeah.
KD has an Echelon.
Oh, I know. I'm going to hit him. Plus, I was already talking to him when I was down at NRA show. I told him I was going to put together a list of guns and I wanted to try to come down and take a Saturday and Sunday and film some content and stuff with some of his guns and stuff. So yeah, the Echelon's already on that list.
Well, I'm gonna do it. So I might figure out a way to get my ass down there and do it with you.
We need to figure out a weekend.
So I was looking at Springfield Armory's lineup, and truthfully, their regular 1911s and their Echelon are the only ones I like. The SA-35, just no. I mean, bro, everybody mentions it, but they kind of suck until you get trigger work and stuff done on them. And they also originally came with 13-round magazines. So to me, the pistol grip on a SA-35 or a Browning high power is short.
I was about to say that SA-35 looks like a high power.
Yeah, it's a high power. And it's a high power clone, which is hilarious because Springfield Armory and Gerson came out with these at the same time as FM was like, yeah, nobody wants to buy these, so we're shutting the line down. and because they shut the line down and the other two companies launched their sales, all the people were like, oh my God, this iconic gun is gone, but thank goodness these two companies came up with it, so we'll buy theirs. And FN's over in the corner like, what happened? It's like, you got out of the business and it motivated other people to buy the stuff that was coming down the pipe. And then FN came out with their own version of the high power HIGH. They use a totally different magazine and different internal parts. There's nothing between their new high power and the old one that's a crossover. There's nothing compatible. So, and they didn't even make it optics ready. And it doesn't share a magazine with anybody. So in essence, they came up with the CZ75 from 1975, put it out, and wonder why nobody buys it. I'm like, because for well over $1,000, I think it's like $1,200 to $1,500 for the new high power. I can buy almost anything else modern and hammer fired and double stacked at 9mm that's better and has a longer track record and more compatibility with everything, including spare parts and custom work.
Hey, Chris, going back to the beginning, you're talking about that Tactile knife. What knife do you have from them? I'm looking at their page right now.
It is hang on, I got to pull it up. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Is it the Delta?
What's the name of the company?
I think it's the Delta. Yeah, the A3 Delta. It should be it's Tekto, Tekto. So I will say, Tony, if you do you do that GovX?
No, I don't.
You need to set that up, man. If you're not using it, you need to set that up because what it is it's first responders, veterans, military get discounts. And that's actually where I ran across it was on there. They had it you get it discounted down. Yeah, the A3 Delta, I did the non-serrated and I did the forged carbon because I was just being a goofy little nerd, and the forged carbon matched my Ridge wallet. But I mean, dude, I'm telling you, man, this thing is a really nice knife. I mean, it's heavy duty. I mean, I've beat the shit out of it. You've got a window breaker on it and stuff. Of course, you got your little safety. It's really easy to use. It's, an automatic open, but with pushing the button. But yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed with it. So yeah, and I mean, you sent me their affiliation thing. I got to get that filled out and hopefully maybe get something worked out down the road. And I think I'm gonna reach back out to the president of the company because that was who I think I got his card here somewhere and see if I
even without the discount on their page right now, the A3 Delta is $170.
Yeah.
That's for what? D2 steel and a window breaker?
I'm telling you, man, it feels of good quality. It's heavy duty. I mean, it's not a gas station knife. I promise you.
Oh no, I'm not thinking about it as a gas station knife. I'm just sitting there looking at other stuff going, wait a minute, man, D2 steel at $170 something.
Yeah.
the president of the company was who I was talking to. So I'm gonna try to reach out to him and see if I can maybe get him on. If I can get him on as a guest to our podcast, and I'd like to have him as a guest on mine. But
Is this American made company? Is it American made?
yes, it is.
All right then. All right then. The price makes sense now.
Made in Maine,
Well, then let's get 'em on.
Scarborough, Maine is where they're located.
All right. Then that makes more sense.
And I mean, they're outdoor people. That's another thing I liked about it when I was talking to them is because I was asking him kind of how where they came from and stuff, and how they got started. And they're outdoor people. They hike, they hunt. So I mean, they were having problems finding quality knives that they like. So hence they started making their own knives. The other one that I would probably recommend that I liked. It's not automatic, but it's so smooth opening, like you literally just have to flip it with your finger, is the F3 Charlie. Oh, God. I see what I did. Yep. Walked right into that one. Yep.
Tell
as long as you see it.
Chris,
So,
tell us more how you flip.
You just got to give it a little flip with the finger there.
Oh, and he froze.
And it'll open right up for you.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
Look at him. He froze. Look at him connecting.
At the
Zing,
worst
zing.
Don't tell me my freaking
Look at him. He's talking about the leaf he likes. Look at him.
Okay.
Look at him. He's excited.
Right here. This is gonna piss
I
me
bet he's
off.
going on and on about how great it feels in the hand.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Look at him. Hold on. So let me go ahead and talk about a decent knife from American made company. There you go. He's back. There you go. That's Picasso Knives. This is actually one of the company. This is the company that was one of the guys that founded Cold Steel with Lim Thompson. When Cold Steel sold, Len stuck around as a consultant, and this guy went off with his wife, who was also Len's secretary, and they started up their own company, Picasso. So they sell quality knives too. Check them out. They've actually gave me this one, which is really cool. They gave me another one at SHOT Show, and I was showing it to people, and someone didn't give it back to me. It never left SHOT.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed.
Why have I heard of them?
It was like a $200 and something knife. Gone.
Chris, you're starting to glitch a little bit and freeze up.
I know.
You're talking about how to flip it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can we go back to explaining how to flip it open? Flip it?
How you flipped it with your finger until it popped open?
I gotta flip it. Just gotta give it a little flip. Or sometimes you might have to really get in there and give it a little flip. Why have I heard of Picasso?
Picasso. Caso.
Yeah. I don't know why I know that name. But yeah, I've been.
What knife was it?
What, Picasso?
The one that's smooth and flips open nice.
Yeah, because I'm looking for him now.
The F3 Charlie.
F3 Charlie?
It's under theirs. Yeah, it's under their folding knives. It's not an automatic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this F3 Charlie. It looks very similar to a completely cheap knife. The Kershaw Fatback.
Like it's the same. About.
And that is again, because it makes this look skinny, but it fits in your hand really well if it's anything like it, if those dimensions are the same. Because again, I'm just looking at it. Nice cutting knife. And this is again what, D2? Yep. D2 titanium covered blade. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really good. I mean, and it's a lot lighter than what the A3 is. So it's not quite as heavy as the A3. Me personally, I kind of like the a little bit heavier knife. But I honestly, I would really like to get that F3 Charlie. That would definitely be one I would add into the collection.
Yeah, it's a 4.5 ounce knife. It's just sometimes knives are heavy for no reason. Uh, like it's funny because it's a weird balance because I work in the prison, but I carry a knife every day. My regular carry knife is a Civivi, but I also was bouncing out and balancing out with this Ocaso. But then I had this from Kershaw that I carried, and again,
Yeah.
you'd think because it has such a small handle, but it works out even for somebody with big hands like me. So, I mean, knives. This is an automatic knife from Kershaw, but it's like 100 and a half. But this one is made in America. So when you start getting American-made blades, the price goes up. It's just that simple. And I find nothing wrong with that as long as I'm getting a quality blade. I don't want to hear excuses when I'm spending my money on stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, it's an
Yep. Yep.
American-made company, but you have to understand. I'm like, no, I don't. I understand paying more money for it because it's manufactured here, but man, I better get something that works every freaking time.
And it looks like they also have a A3 Delta Mini that just got released. So it
I see.
looks like, so it's just short. Yeah. So it's shorter and lighter. You're looking at about 2.5, a little over 2.5 ounces, where the A3, I think, is almost 6 ounces. Yeah. The
Yeah, I
A3
like
is
a knife with some. Go ahead.
yeah, the A3 is 5.96 ounces. But
All
now
right, cool. American-made knife. Go ahead.
Definitely have to grab me one of
no,
those.
you're good. I was just, so yeah, handles about an inch shorter, and then the blade length is probably about 1.5 inches shorter on the mini compared to the full size.
Oh, the reason I brought up lightweight because sometimes if a knife is too light, you forget you have it on you and do stupid things like try to walk through metal detectors with it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's fine if you do my job and you can take it back to your office, but it's a horrible, horrible thing if you have to give your knife away at the airport.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about other than knives?
No, I
Oh,
thought,
yeah,
yeah,
good question, bro. You
yeah.
didn't talk about the friggin' 990 Shockwave
Yeah.
over in Mossburn.
Oh man, that thing is so. I what?
Okay.
Now
Hold
let me
on.
say
Hold on.
this is.
I will.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we all know which one we're talking about here. I just want to ask this question before you jump into this. Do you or do you not SBS that bitch?
I would SBS it.
Same.
I would
100%.
I would I would SBS it. And honestly, it would be nice if I could SBS it with a folding stock
Good.
or a folding
Because you
brace.
can. Because everything, all the recoil mechanism is out front. That's why
Right.
they changed the pistol grip from the bird's head to whatever the heck they call the one they have now. Nice.
So this is what was funny to me when I first walked up. All right, because I went in because I was like, because I was going to go in and talk about the 940, then found out about the 990. I was like, okay, this is going to be a great video for the YouTube channel. So I walk up to the dude because everybody else is pretty much talking to people, and I walk up and I'm like, hey man, I'd really like to get maybe like a 5-10 minute video talking about the 990, and this is what I get. Well, some of us don't like cameras, so hang on and let me find you somebody. I'm like, all you gotta do is stand there and talk, man. I'm like, just stand here and talk. So he went and actually, I guess he found somebody from the marketing department. So I did it. What was her name? Her name was Linda, and did the video with her. But no, it's not as heavy as what I thought it was going to be. It had a really, really good feel to it. You get a QD connect in the grip and then you have an M-lock little rail up toward the front. So if you want to put a sling on it, you've got the option to go ahead and put a sling on it. Even if you don't SBS it, you can still put a sling on the thing. So I thought that was really cool because I don't think the Shockwave has that. I could be wrong. I didn't really go over there and look at the Shockwave to see that. And what's Remington's, the TAC 13, I think is what they have. I don't think they have options for a sling on it either. I'll have to do a little research. I'm sure somebody somewhere will be in the comments talking about, oh, yes, it does. Blah, blah, blah. But no, I thought it was really cool to have those attachments already there where you can put the sling. It felt good. I mean, the action on it was very smooth. I mean, it felt like just a small 940 tactical. I mean, it had the wide feed ramp, so you can feed the shells in there really easily and stuff. So yeah, I was impressed with it. I mean, outside of shooting it, I thought it was, to me, a really, really good option if you're looking for something in that category. Now of course, they call it a firearm. It's not a shotgun, it's a firearm because of the classification and everything. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a game changer there.
Well, I'm wondering because again, New Jersey laws and the fact that we have AOWs now, I can skip over the short barrel rifle thing, get one of these, and make it to AOW. Maybe. I don't know because it has to have a vert grip on it. I think I'll figure it out. I'll talk to my guys. Because my look, I live in a state that has over 1 million gun owners. We in 2 years we have 50,000 concealed carry holders, up from less than 1,200. So we got people that are finally getting into firearms. You know what I mean? To be motivated to get into firearms and carry. And all of a sudden, when you start carrying or get your carry permit, your perspective on firearms ownership changes and what you want to get and what you want to look at. Also, you're looking at new stuff. And this is the new hotness that everybody's gun video on GunTube is talking about. So why not strike when the freaking iron is hot? And if we can make it Jersey legal and pick one up, why not? I mean, again, you have over 1 million gun owners in the state, and you have a push right now, almost a trend, with people buying guns. Like, there's no slump here.
The other thing I forgot is they have what's called a laser saddle for that Crimson Trace built. Yep. I forgot to mention that. I mean, now I'm not a big fan of lasers and stuff, but I know some people are. So yeah, it's the Crimson Trace laser saddle. Yep. And it essentially would fit almost on there like what a side saddle would.
Hey, listen, can you guys check out Demonstrated Concepts? Demonstrated Concepts. I type in "shooting the shockwave" and it will be like the first video coming up. Forgotten weapons and demonstrated concepts. So he has a whole method of shooting these type guns off his cheek.
What?
Yeah. You need to check it out. And the whole thing is, you don't wrap your finger, your thumb around it.
With the 990, you've got an option for a 14 and a 3/4 inch barrel. And then you also have an option for an 18 and a half inch barrel. And the MSRP on both of those is the same. It's $1,120. If you go with the one with the laser saddle, it's pretty much $1,300 on the MSRP, and it's a 5+1 capacity if anybody's wondering. But yeah, I'll have that's going to be my next video going up on my YouTube channel with that interview with Linda about that. So there'll be some more information there.
Is the 18 a shotgun or is it a firearm?
It looks like it's still being classified as, like what you're saying, almost as an AOW.
All right, because you got the barrel lengths now, so you know what I mean? It's like it's got the legal barrel length now, so what are we doing here? But yeah, Demonstrated Concepts has developed how you shoot those things. And now he also has like a high rise red dot he runs on it too, so you can keep your head
Yeah, I
upright.
see that.
Um, so I've watched him over the years because he takes some things like this and actually puts work and thought into how to run them. And pretty much he's ran that setup in shotgun classes with people, and not only hung with them, but was at the top of the class when you were running drills. And he was like, at this point, I won't even SBR. He said, I won't even SBS it, make it a short barrel shotgun and put a stock on it because it's shorter the way he runs it than if you had a stock on it. I just see it as alternative. Another thing you can use, again, I feel is niche. But if you live in an apartment, if you live in something like that, you don't have all that room. You don't want to be taking, even when you go and take a thing out to the range, you don't want to have something that screams gun bag. You have this, you learn to run it, you put number 4 buck in it. I think it'll be a great home defense firearm. You can throw the laser on it, you can put a red dot, you can do whatever you want, but you have this shorter thing that you can shoot from the cheek well, but you got to work on it because nothing's free.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to dry fire, you got to learn to run it, and of course, when you use the shotgun, your thing is magazine capacity. You're down to 5 rounds. But I'll tell you right now, I've never seen anybody on any of the videos I've watched, and I've watched years worth of them, and all the stories I've read, heard anybody sticking around after their first shotgun blast. Indoors.
Right,
No one
exactly.
sticks around.
Right.
No one sticks around.
Yep. Well, and I mean, that's the big thing when people talk about shotguns for home defense is really they're looking more at the pump action gun because the distinct sound that makes when you rack that round into that chamber, that's what a lot of people are looking at is that's going to be a deterrent. But the bad thing is nowadays people are so desperate. Some of them aren't going to see that as a deterrent. They're going to really try to call your bluff and see if you're actually willing to use the round that you put in that chamber.
Yeah, and then what do you do? Because if you're not mentally prepared because you thought just racking it was going to run them out the door,
Go on your patio, shoot 2 blasts in the air.
Oh, did you see who was it that posted that video? Was it Carry Trainer or somebody that posted? Dude walks out, it's got a rifle slung. It's nighttime and looks like he lives out in, kind of out away. Walks out his house, front door, rifle slung, handgun in his hand, pops 2 rounds into the ground, and then aims it up at the vehicle and screaming, "Go! Go!" And then they start to leave and I guess blow the horn, and now he starts popping rounds off at them. And I'm just like, are you freaking serious?
Jesus.
It was a Uber Eats driver supposedly, and he stopped to look at directions on his GPS at the end of the road. End of the road happened to be in front of his.
I didn't see all that, man.
End of the road happens to be in front of this jerk off's house. Now, dude is like comes out all strapped up, and I'm like, bro, everything you did was wrong. Mm-hmm. One, why'd you leave the house? Why'd you leave the house? You observe people that parked out front. If it's weird and they're there too long, call the police. Exactly. You don't have to expose yourself at all. Outsource your potential violence to other people. Police don't come and he leaves, it's a win. Who cares? If he comes back, that's one of the reasons you get one of those high lumen, high candela flashlights, like one of the ridiculous handhelds. Like one of the ones that has 2,000, 2,500 or more lumen. Again, don't have to leave the house. Hit them with the flashlight. They will see they've been seen. And if they're up to no good, they will leave. And again, you did not expose yourself. You did not come outside. Who says they don't have 3 or 4 people? Let's imagine it's whatever scenario you thought it was important enough to take 2 guns outside with. Why are you exposing yourself? They could have dropped people off down the road. They're in the woods aiming at you right now.
Exactly. Or they got out of the vehicle and got into the tree line before you saw it. Now you've just came out and exposed yourself. Kind of like the 2 jackass lawyers up in Missouri that walked out during that protest and everything when they, went into that neighborhood and stuff. Like, why are you... But, okay, first, you've got replica guns. So your dumbass goes out there with not even real guns. Now, let's look at it from a real gun standpoint. Your AR only had what looked like a 10-round mag in it, and then that little gun looked like probably a 25 or a 32 caliber, which is only going to have what, probably 6 rounds. So you have 16 rounds total, and you're trying to take out a mob.
You're talking about the husband and wife lawyer team?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Everything was
why?
wrong about that. One,
Yes, like,
the gun she has didn't even work, by the way.
yeah.
It was from a case they were doing. The gun didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And you've exposed yourself. You've taken out the element of surprise, and you've opened yourself up to anyone in that crowd not shooting a gun, hitting you with a brick, and taking you out the fight.
Yep.
Again, your gun is not giving you a superpower, and they didn't stop making them after they made yours. So your gun is a responsibility, and brandishing it to people to scare them, or even shooting warning shots like this guy did, um, mean nothing. One, if you shoot a warning shot, that means your life wasn't in danger, or at least you didn't feel it was in danger enough to shoot the thing that you were afraid of. So thereby, even you, while you were putting the trigger, didn't think it was important enough to shoot whoever you were trying to scare off. So why are you doing it? Oh yeah, and who gets hit by whatever you just shot somewhere? Because you shot
Exactly.
the ground doesn't mean the round stayed there. It could have ricocheted off of anything.
Yep.
My favorite is just lackadaisical throwing a round off. What if you hit the propane tank of the freaking barbecue that's next to your house and you just set your house on fire? Congratulations.
There's so many factors. Then you're popping rounds off at them going down the road. So if you don't hit their car, where are those rounds going to go? Now, I mean, I will say from the looks of it, doesn't look like there's any other houses anywhere close by, but still, you don't know where the hell those things are go. I mean, look at what happened years ago with, back when the DC sniper was moving around. They had that kid that was killed up at Carowinds right up the road from us. And come to find out what it was a gentleman target shooting and had a target stapled up or hammered up onto a tree. And the round happened to catch the ring of the tree and actually essentially did a U-turn and came back out of the tree and killed a kid over in the pool at Carowinds. But see, everybody was associating it with the DC sniper because all that was going on at the time. And I think it was like a couple of days later, the guy would just happen to be watching the news, went back out and saw where he'd been shooting and saw the holes in the tree and stuff, and went and turned himself in. Now, from my understanding, I don't think there were any charges filed because technically he was shooting in a safe direction. It was just one of those freaking accidents, but it's where we talk about understanding your safety rules, knowing your target, and not only what's beyond it, but what you're using for your target practice can affect that. But hey, I got my permit. I'm a Delta SEAL Army Ranger, so I'm good to go.
There you go. So, well,
now, I think this has been a good conversation. It was good. I think it was good talking with, about the NRA show, talking about Reeds, because honestly, man, I wouldn't mind coming up to that event and checking it out.
My door is always open, and my dog will appreciate you coming.
Yes, I do know.
Leave the peanut butter at home, Chris.
I just got to make sure Jen's asleep.
No, man, come on. No, it was a good conversation. Like I said, I'd love to have you come up here for that. You're going to be a train to learn. So, looking forward for the feedback from that.
Yep. Just going to be so lonely. It's going to be so lonely. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Mr. Lonely.
So
you know what? I need to download that and just have that playing when I walk into the classroom on Friday.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be. It sucks because I'm gonna miss it every year.
It does suck.
But let's keep this in mind. I think we've all went to. I mean, I've been to three. I was planning on going this year, but I'm not.
This will be so.
But the hope.
Every year,
Go ahead.
but the first year and this year we've been there.
So to me, and I think Chris has been every year, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I've had the fortunate luck.
Overachiever.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
my thing is this.
I'm the teacher's pet. I'll bring the apple.
The reason I'm not going because the reason I went to train and learn was to be where I'm at right now.
Right.
So instead of going to train and learn, I'm going to take that funding. And again, what I'm doing is trying to become a 501c3 with the fees I have to pay out. I could either rent a vehicle and drive to train and learn or pay my federal fees to become a 501c3. I think it's better money spent.
Yeah, I totally get it, man. And it's like Clayton and I were talking. I'm sure there's eventually something's going to come up where I'm not going to be able to make it. That's why I've had the fortunate luck to be able to go every year. So, I'm definitely excited to see, I think, Clayton and I were talking, I think there's really going to be a lot more newer people at this one, even compared to what there was last year. So, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good one. I'm excited to see what the instructors. I know Devin did an interview with one of the other instructors. I think they're doing the handgun, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm curious to see who's going to do the hand-to-hand, because I know Kevin did say there was going to be some hand-to-hand stuff. So that's one thing I'm curious to see on who's going to be doing that.
I'm excited to hear the feedback from this year and hopefully get my ass down there.
Oh, believe me, I don't think anyone blames me. It's just me talking myself out of it because it sucks, bro. It is like family. It is like seeing it's people you care about, dude. That we've built relationships over the years. I mean, we have this show and we talk to each other, but we're not the only ones from that talk to each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We see each other at shows. We help each other with stuff. We talk to each other at DMs. And not seeing them kind of sucks. I was glad to be able to go to NRA because we saw a lot of people that live in the Atlanta area at NRA that are train and learn alumni.
Hey, Tony, let me jump in here for a second since we're talking about this. You probably got more information than me and Chris do, but I think it's important that we share how we can help out a train and learn alumni, a true fighter for the Second Amendment. I'll let you give the details and where people can go for that. I'll let you take care of that because you got more details on that than we do.
All right. Sharon is a friend of ours. She was at the train and learn, the first one. Sharon Hinchcliffe. She's awesome. She has cancer, a couple of different types of cancer. And it's caused a lot of problems, including dental problems and medical issues, and she needs help with her expenses. So if you go to Give, Send, Go, it's asking for help for S.A. Hinchcliffe, HINCHCLIFFE. It's on Give, Send, Go. And if you can help her out, it's really appreciated. She's at the halfway point. She's trying to raise $25,000 to help her out with her medical expenses. This is a woman that's done work in the Second Amendment community. She had fought and fought and fought in her home state. Actually, she led the fight. So any of the interviews and everything else that was coming up, I think it was in Washington, it was her on the front lines. And what she would do was she worked third shift as a computer specialist at her job. She'd work all night and then go into the Capitol and testify and do stuff all during the day the next day. And she also has a presence online where she would answer questions and actually hold politicians accountable. So she's put in the work. She's an awesome woman. If you can help her out, her name is again Sharon Hinchcliffe. She's on Give, Send, Go. S.A. Hinchcliffe. Please look it up. Help her out. I have it pinned to the top of my page on X. On Seconds for Everyone. Please help out if you can. If you can't, just share it. Share it and get it out there so other people can help. Thank you.
And I've shared it. I know when she had posted it, I shared it on Instagram. We'll have the link actually up in the screen. I'll have it posted up in the screen here so everybody can see it and find it. And we'll also put it down in the description as well too, so everybody can get to it. But yeah, if you even if you can't donate,
Share it.
You know,
Please.
share it. I mean, like Tony said, this is a incredible woman that has done some really, really incredible things for everybody in the Second Amendment community. And she's also somebody that's definitely inspirational, because you get a lot of people that talk about, oh, I can't go and do that. You know, I'm not physically able and things like that. And she's been one of those that would get out there at Train and Learn. And I mean, if you've never been, you've got to experience it. All right. But Saturday is literally all day on the range. I mean, from morning until night. And she had some physical limitations. She was using a cane and stuff, but by God, she got out there and was getting shit done. So don't ever don't ever think there's no, that you can't do something because of some type of physical limitation, because she definitely embodied every bit of that training. And you know, it was definitely inspirational for me to sit there and watch that, knowing, you know, what she
So
was going through at the time.
Sharon was walking with a cane. I drove her around at the second train to learn from thing to thing, event to event when we were on the range day. You're in a you're a vulnerable looking victim. Like you're meat on the table when you're walking with a cane,
Mm-hmm.
and not only at home, because most people think if you're walking with a cane, you're in some pain, and that means you have painkillers at home. That's why they go to victimize you. Also, they know that you're limited in your movement, and you're also, most people, distracted by the thing they're using, so they're not having a head on a swivel. She's got a head on a swivel. She carried a full-size CZ75, and she was catching wreck at the range with her gun, with her cane hanging from her hand. So don't sleep on Sharon. She's an awesome lady, and didn't let it slow her down. And there's truthfully, to me, a role model not only for myself but for anybody that's walking with a cane. Because I was walking with a cane at the last train and learn. Um,
She's incredible.
no excuses, man.
Yeah.
Yep. No excuses. Yep. Definitely.
But
Been a great episode. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just said, you know, like we said, just please share it, help her out. She's an inspiration to a lot of us, and you know, I know for a fact she would appreciate it. And that's not what's in us. For her to, she's the only one that said herself that she, you know, it's hard for her to ask for help, but she had to put herself out here for this. So this woman, please help her out. She is phenomenal. She would appreciate the help. We would appreciate the shares, everything like that. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, it definitely. If you can donate, even if it's just $1. Every little bit counts. If you can't donate, like everybody said, definitely give it a share. We'll have everything up in the screen and down in the description. This has been episode 6 of Locked, Cocked, and Unfiltered. Don't forget, you can find me. Easiest way is just go to linktree/SC Gun School. That's got all my stuff. Clayton, Tony, I'll let y'all give everybody where they can find y'all.
Yeah, you find us on Instagram, pivotal_defense, Facebook, Pivotal Defense, website, pivotaldefensellc.com. Chris, you forgot your naughty Santa Claus After Dark OnlyFans account.
That's in the link tree.
Yeah, you forgot your OnlyFans account. I can fit this all the way inside. That's the name of it. Join me doing a live at Johnson's Bowling Alley on 31st Street for the latest episode of Chris's I Can Fit This All the Way Inside. We're going to have a good time. This episode has been sponsored by Lucas Oil. All right.
No, it's been sponsored by Crisco.
That's the link, bitches.
Old school is old school. You can find me at Simon Says Train on Facebook. The second is for everyone on Facebook. Second for everyone on X, and also Simon Says Train on Instagram. Also, I'm doing Firearms Radio Network, Gun and Gear, Firearms Insider, Gun and Gear Review podcast every Tuesday for the last decade. So drop by. We're going to be talking about cool stuff. We talked about the 990 last week, and we're talking about some cool stuff in knives this week. Oh, and we got High Point on this week as a guest. So by the time you see this, is an old episode, but go back and check it out. We're going to have Dave on from High Point talking about everything.
Awesome. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. I hope y'all have a good evening. And for all the moms out there, I know this is going to be a little late, but happy Mother's Day.
Your side,